Hello and welcome to another episode of Every Day is a New Day. I am your host, Kim O'Neill, and today I have with me my super fun, awesome guest, Susan Bradley-Boartfield. Welcome, Susan.
Hi, Kim. I'm so excited. I've been so excited all day to get live with you. Yay.
Same here.
Hi, Beth. Hi, Betty.
Hi, Betty. Hi, Nori. Yeah, so guess what? Yeah,
Nori, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nori. Yay.
I'm shaking my bracelet. Happy birthday, Nori. Whew. So we made it. So we were trying to get online. Hi, Jason and Suli too, and Nori. We were trying to get online, and apparently Be Live has a lot of action going on right now. So
yes,
we were doing. Clearly, we're already on Facebook, but there's a part of me that just for my own peace of mind, I want to see it. So let me just go over to Facebook and see if we're already on here. And looks like we are. I saw a still shot of myself that looked a little crazy, so I'll have to adjust that later. Okay, so okay, so I've closed out Facebook, and all of you out there, can you see us okay? I just want to make sure that we are positioned properly so that you can see us. Let us know if you can or cannot, or anything of that sort. But Susan, okay, so oh my gosh, we're fine. Okay, we did start a few minutes behind, so I'm not going to even say that we're actually 5 minutes into this because we had a few minutes later. Okay, so how about this? So I know a good handful of the people already here are familiar with you and they know about you, but let's share with them a little bit more, go a little more in depth, and I would love to read them your bio. Is that okay?
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to read Susan's bio. Here we go. Susan Bradley-Boartfield is a spiritually guided transformational leader, business strategist, and healer. As a former corporate leader in the insurance industry, Susan was well respected for her unique approach to business, understanding that business success was created through relationships, not sales. Sales are the result of the relationships created. This approach to the know, like, and trust philosophy, which is now recognized as the key to business, created not only rapid growth, but retention year after year. Yeah. Everything changed, however, when Susan's younger sister passed in 2011, leaving behind 3 children. Not only did Susan lose her mojo for her insurance business, but her physical health deteriorated to the point that she became bedridden. She was told she would never work again, which was something she refused to accept. Susan spent this time studying the mind-body connection, energy healing using frequencies, meditation, and she became a certified coach. Today, everything Susan does is spiritually guided. Through her connection, she was given a vision and founded Partners at Play, a community for coaches, healers, and light workers to collaborate, co-create, and cooperate. Susan assists these heart-centered professionals building a strong foundation and bringing their messages to the world. Through teaching, coaching, and mentoring, it is Susan's mission to help humanity remember the truth of who they are and prepare them as they shift into a new way of being on the planet. And so again, that's you.
It's so strange hearing somebody say that to me. It's awesome, but it's a little strange because I'm usually the one, shouting from the rooftops.
You are.
Everybody, right? Yeah. I love you guys. So
I love you too.
Yes.
Okay, Susan, I am just going to say this because I want to make sure everyone can see you. And I know you're wearing a beautiful necklace. Would you be able to maybe just, I don't know if you can turn your camera down a little bit because maybe, wait, I mean, is that too far?
Okay. Is that all right?
That's a little too much because now your head's chopped off.
Okay, we don't want my head chopped off.
No, we don't.
Okay.
I like your head. Okay, that was good. See, now it's me that... Okay. It's all good. So, okay. So I just want to have fun and play with Susan, but we're here to do an interview. So I'm going to ask her some questions.
But we're going to play. This is us playing.
This is us playing.
Show.
On Kim's show. Sulie says here, let's hear from Sulie. You are awesome, Susan. It's your turn to sparkle and shine.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sulie. I love you. Yeah, thank you.
That is beautiful, Sulie. I completely agree. Yeah, Susan's really, really good at celebrating everyone else and shouting their names from the rooftops. And so it is wonderful to get a chance to do that for her and share her with you. So actually, okay, I need to kick it into gear, right? And let me get my questions up that we know we're going to deviate from too. So it's
yeah, absolutely we will.
Yeah. Okay, so I read them your bio. Susan, is there anything else that, like, as you hear your own bio, that you would like to add to who you are and what you do? Is there anything else?
I think that watching Christy Whitman, listening to Christy and Evelyn in a conversation they were having, that Christy admitted she was a closet channel. And I realized that unless you coach with me, that people don't really know that about me. So I thought I would follow her lead and come out of the closet. Ta-da!
Well, thank you for sharing that. I think that, I think a lot of people probably, are going to be happy to know that about you. That you do that.
You heard it here first on Kim O'Neill with Kim O'Neill. Every day is a new day.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, I think that's a great point for you to highlight. So, so in your bio, we did touch a little bit on some of your story, but I want to put that question out there to you as well. What do you say your story is? Is there something additional you'd like to add to beyond what we said in your bio?
My story really is that of perseverance, right? Ever since I wasn't born into the best of circumstances, and so growing up, we really didn't have a voice. We didn't really have the ability to express our feelings or, our wants, our needs. We were just more silent, which in retrospect was a gift, because that way I went in for answers because I couldn't go out for answers. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
And to the audience, does that make sense to you? If you have questions about that, feel free to put those in the comments, and we, of course, will answer that. So,
wow, we went deep really fast. Okay.
Get the party going again. You know what, Susan? Here's the thing. Something that I've learned about myself is I have no problem going deep. I don't realize sometimes that I'm going deep.
Yeah, no, I'm a very deep person. I go deep very fast.
Yeah.
But I also love to play. I love to play and have fun. So, yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. Sulie says perfect sense.
That is very good to know. Thank you, Sulie. So, okay, so what would you say your values are, and how have you set your life up to reflect those values?
Oh, in the last, since my sister passed in 2011, it was all about reevaluating how I was being, what I was doing, how I perceived myself, how I perceived everything. So my values really are to be completely authentic, to honor myself first. I was not doing that. What happened to me becoming bedridden took years to occur. It was years of self-neglect, just pushing through, plowing through, because that's what I always did, right? Toughed it out. I never took vacation. I cashed it in at the end of the year. I was a good doobie. Okay,
so since you brought that up already, then tell us more. So So you weren't really giving to yourself. You became bedridden. And how did you move beyond that? How did you become unbedridden?
Okay. Well, I've always been connected since I was a little girl,
Okay.
right? I've always had guides. I've always had this knowing, like things will happen. Like I would just kind of know things were going to happen. But I shut them out for a long time. So when I was bedridden, shopping for wheelchairs, 22 pills and a pain patch, at my worst, I reopened that door and said, you know, if I can't work and I can't walk, who am I? And very clearly I heard, you are love. And it changed everything. It was like this just download of everything. It was, I can't really explain it. It was like this download of opening. I knew my world would never be the same, but I also knew that my body had the ability to heal itself. And once, you know, it was like, I know it sounds weird, right? But the skies kind of did part and it went, right? Like the truth.
It sounds like you had an experience similar to what a near-death experience would have been like.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's like all of a sudden I woke up and I could see everything so clearly. I could see what I was doing to myself. I could see like I don't know. I just could see everything for what it really was. Wow. And so, so I began by loving myself, which I thought I already did. Right.
Okay. So what does loving yourself mean to you? Like, what does that look like to you?
Okay. Well, like I always thought by being, successful and, doing my thing and having my, making my own way, not dependent on anybody, that I was loving myself, right? But I wasn't honoring myself. I resented my body. It had been in pain for a long time. And instead of going, oh, well, my body's barking at me, I should give it some love, right? I didn't. I was just like, no, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to go see the kids in Connecticut and take care of them and take care of this. So loving yourself is realizing we're all spirit, right? We're all spirit and we're all sovereign. And it's not my job to make everybody else okay. That was a big lesson for me. And that to give my body love and to respect it. And first I had to start with, well, what do I love about my body? And I started, well, my heart beats all the time. Right? So it really was that slow of a beginning.
I love that though. You started with what you could. And so you started, it sounds like you went back to basics, right? So you
right, exactly. I went from, right down to basics. Like, okay, my lungs, they take in oxygen, I can love my lungs. What can I love about myself? I love my, and that's where I started. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Susan. Jason Richardson is also saying beautiful.
Oh,
Suli also.
Hi, Jason. Oh, Jason. Hi, Suli. Oh, this is a part of me that I don't often share in public, right? So anybody that's been interviewed, it's not easy, but it's good. It is my hope that whatever I say here tonight will help somebody else.
I think it's those things that we don't usually share that everyone else is somehow like eagerly awaiting to hear at some point. And I mean, to hear that you went from being bedridden to not being bedridden and how you did that. And it started with what we always hear, about self-care, 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 love yourself. You did that. You started there and you expanded on that. You didn't just say, oh, that doesn't mean anything, or,
right.
Phooey. Phooey.
So in my success now, it's from listening to that voice within. Because we get to play together a lot, but I never ignore that voice. And it serves me well.
So, okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I think we might come back around to that, but I would like to then ask you, so what do you feel the meaning of life is, or how do you interpret having a life purpose?
Okay. Well, I now know my life purpose, which is awesome, but I think that we all choose to have this human experience, right? I think that as spirit, we're all one. There's no surprises, no drama, no fear, no worry. And we chose as spirit to have a human experience. And a lot of people would say, well, I would never choose this life, right? But why wouldn't you? If in your spiritual form, you're whole, perfect, and complete, blissed out all day long, every day, why would you not choose an experience where you had drama, you had fear, you had worry? And, it's kind of like jumping on a roller coaster and you for the first time and not knowing what it's going to be like, how many twists and turns, and you do it anyway, right? I don't know if I answered your question. And
I think my mind started to go in a different direction.
So I think that we're just here to have the experience, and in order to have that experience, you needed that fear, that drama, that worry. So you were given this gift of the ego, and so that we can have this experience. And I think the meaning of life is remembering who you are and understanding that all that fear, worry, doubt is just part of the experience. It's just part of the experience. It's not the truth of who you are. So if you fell down and had amnesia and forgot, right? Would you still be Kim?
Yes.
Right? So we're still spirit. Yeah. We just forgot. So I think it's our journey in this experience to somehow remember who we really are and then live in that truth.
I love that. And I think that as we remember who we are, that's when we remember, oh, we have the ability or the power to actually change the reality we were born into.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Dance party, dance party.
Do. You are amazing, whole, perfect, and complete. You just forgot.
Yes, and that goes for every single person that's here. So
yes, everybody. Yeah.
Well, thank you for answering that, Susan. Yes,
I think we're complete. No, I'm kidding.
Let's see if we have any questions from the audience right now. Jason says it's good for everyone to know that all challenges here. I'll go ahead and, it's kind of scrolled down. It's good for all challenges. You can read it. It's good for everyone to know that all challenges can be overcome with love. Yes.
Yes.
I agree with that. And Beth Meyer says deliberate creation.
Yes. Hi, Beth.
So wonderful. Well, then, so Susan, would you share with us, this can be anything, but would you share with us an exercise or a process that maybe you've used with yourself or maybe you've used with your clients, but something that we can implement into the show today that our listeners can take with them, after the show?
Yes, absolutely. So, before the show, right, I thought I was going to do one process, but I think I'm doing something else.
Okay.
Okay. If everybody will just I don't know. I'm sorry. Can we come back to this? Can we come back?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting. Let's come back to that. Thank you.
We'll totally come back to that.
Okay.
So we're going to take a slight detour here. Susan, what's something that you think is unique or quirky about you beyond what you've already shared with us, if you were about to say?
No, I'm so quirky. Like, people don't know that about me, but I love fuzzy pajamas and fuzzy socks, even in the summer. And yeah, I know.
I hope you have air conditioning.
I wear my fuzzy pajama top inside out because it's softer.
Nice. Okay.
This is really quirky. I microwave my popsicles for 10 seconds.
I love that you're sharing this. Okay, what else? Tell us more. I want more.
Oh, those are some of the quirkiest, but I love those name test things. Like, when I'm stressed out and I want to laugh, I'll do those name tests.
Those are fun.
Yeah. Those are fun. But yeah, fuzzy socks.
Okay, I like it. Thank you for giving us something extra there. That was cool. Okay, so what's a favorite joke or quote of yours that you could share with us today?
Well, because I am the founder of Partners That Play, right? I love to play. So I love Dr. Seuss. I love the quotes from Dr. Seuss, right? Okay. And so one is, today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive that is youer than you. I love that.
I like that too. Yeah.
And I think Dr. Seuss was awakened because if you really read his stuff beyond, if you look into it, he really does. It's like, we're all unique. We're all meant to. One of his other ones is, why fit in when you were born to stand out, right? So he got it.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay, so Susan, tell us more about Partners at Play. And you got that through a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about what that's about for you.
Okay, so Partners at Play, the name Jason Richardson, actually, I don't know, every time I get together with Jason, things just kind of come to me. It's crazy. But he was the first one to know it was going to be called Partners at Play. It came in a conversation with him. But I had a vision of me standing naked in JV in a circle, reading a poem that I channeled, which turned out to be my purpose.
Doesn't know, JV stands for joint venture. So she's talking about a group of people and the inner circle of that group.
Right, which they collaborate, right? They collaborate. And so I signed up for JV Inner Circle, and the first day realized that's not what they meant, right? So sometimes we're given that intuition or that guidance, and we follow it, and then it's like, no, not quite, right? So, so I was actually, so when it came, I knew it was big. I knew my purpose was really, really big, right? And so Partners at Play unfolded just by receiving more downloads, asking for clarity. Like, seriously, asking it is given is a very real thing. So any questions you want to know, you already know it, right? So if you ever muscle tested, if you ever did muscle testing, right, you already know the answers. You just are not probably asking the right questions. So I kept asking and I kept asking. And Partners at Play, you know, my guides call me the gatherer.
Ooh.
I'm the gatherer. So
gathering people together, is that it?
yes, I'm the gatherer. I'm to help bring people together and help them bring their gifts to the world. I'm the gatherer. So that came, you know, just everything unfolded, and it's all about competition. Is, you know, it used to be you threw up an ad, people responded, and you made money, right? Yeah. But that competition doesn't work anymore. And to be successful, you really have to build relationships. It's all about relationship building, and people, when they get to know you, love you, trust you, then they buy from you. And so I was just given this vision, this, as it expanded, I had this complete vision of what it would be. And you are part of my private group, so you have the inside scoop of what that means, right? So, and it's all, it keeps expanding and expanding. So, but at first I was freaked out because I knew it was big. And then I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. But
what helped you get beyond that, like the apprehension, maybe anxiety of it feeling so big?
I was in a group. I was in a group in the same platform that I created for Partners at Play, the private group.
Okay.
I was in a group, and with my Earthbound guide, Jared Hewitt, I talk about him all the time, and I got that vision of me being naked, reading my poem, and I'm like, oh my God, really? Really, Jace? Really, Jared? Really? Can I do this? Oh my God. And I didn't even have to tell him what I was talking about. He knew, and he said, why are you still questioning? So then I just allowed it.
Okay, and when we allow, isn't it interesting how when we allow, that actually the resistance starts to drop away and then everything just becomes easier? It's like, isn't it interesting that the one thing we fear actually gets easier when we say yes to it? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense, because once I allowed it, then the right people, the circumstances, the opportunities, everything came. You know, I don't want to really say that my job is really easy, because I just wake up and say, okay, you know, what are we doing?
Okay. So then here's another question for you. You said that it's about, if you're not quite hearing the answers, then it's maybe you need to ask a better question. Do you have any tips or anything you've learned about asking better questions?
Yes. And first I want to say, if you want to do something and you're completely blocked, there's a reason. It could be like we had this big plan, right, in our private group to do this spectacular or amazing thing, right? And then I had to write something, and I was completely blocked, completely shut down. But then I connected with Jason, and this new amazing idea came forward. Thank you, Jason. Of how that looked like, right? So then once I was given that, then I was able to write so easily, just flowed. So if you're blocked and it feels hard and it feels heavy, just check in with yourself and ask if there's, if you could have clarity, or, is there another path for me? I just built the relationship where I include my guides with me every single day. When I open my eyes in the morning, the first thing I do is say, good morning. Thank you for being with me today. So, I think that's important and it's helpful, and I listen.
What does listening, what is the experience of listening for you? Because I'll let you answer that.
Okay. So I receive information in visuals. I receive information in blocks of information, or external things would happen, or if somebody's talking to me and it's important, it glows, like the words will glow, or they'll continue talking and I can't get that one sentence out of my mind, and I know that's where I'm supposed to go. So I'm just very mindful. So if I'm stuck in traffic, or if, I'm blocked, now I know that it's for a reason. And so it doesn't bother me. I'm okay with it. It's like, okay, well, I know that time is ticking and I really have to write this thing because it's really, really important, but I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to wait and allow it.
So listening for you isn't necessarily an audible sound. It's paying attention to the visions and the messages that are really standing out for you.
Yes. And when I write, sometimes I'll hear a voice in my head telling me what to write. Mm-hmm. And at first it was in Abraham's voice, but I think it was so that I would know that it was to be paid attention to. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes. Yeah. So if anyone's watching and they're not aware of who Abraham is, she's referring to Abraham Hicks.
Yes. The mother of law of attraction.
Okay, Susan, why do I feel like this is going so quickly? Does it feel like it's going really quickly for I feel like we've gotten so much in and it's only halfway through the show and it's like, wait, what?
I know. And you know what? I just feel like I'm saying things that I just never thought I would be saying on Facebook Live. Does anybody have any questions? I would love some questions.
I agree. I would love some questions too. And Beth is saying, allowing has become my friend. And I second that, Beth. Learning, getting into that space of going, just understanding, what am I feeling? What's going on? Oh, this is resistance. Oh, this is actually tied to something that I want, but I'm resisting it. I'm blocking it. Like connecting all those dots, like each little element of that is another little piece of the puzzle. And it's so interesting to see how, when we allow and start to accept and just be, how then more and more doors open up and things start to flow through.
Right, because nothing's supposed to be hard. If it's really, really hard, they're really, really talking to you.
It's that whole unlearning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we go there for a second?
Yeah, please.
Because if we could only unlearn everything that you were ever taught, you would be perfectly fine. Because we were never taught to question, right? We were always taught to, comply and to do what everybody else is doing and to follow the crowd and just be nice. And, and now I'm saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Be you, whatever that means for you.
Well, so Susan, for you, before you said that you always knew that you were connected, mm-hmm. but it sounds like you didn't really start listening until after you were bedridden.
No, I did. I actually, growing up, I definitely listened, and it was a two-way conversation. It was
Okay.
actually much stronger than it is now.
Oh, okay.
It was very much stronger, which I don't understand why it's not stronger, because I'm more open to it. Maybe the innocence of being a child. I wasn't jaded. I don't know. But I shut my guides out because I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to be weird or freak. I wanted to have friends and be accepted, and and so I twisted myself into a little pretzel so I would fit, my round self in that square hole, and, try to fit in, and yeah.
So then how did it show up for you as a kid? I mean, were there things, visions and things that you were hearing and seeing that you wanted to talk about or comment on, but you stopped yourself? Or because if it's all happening within you, I would think that, oh, well, you could still, I'm thinking what other people might be thinking too. Like you could still just, be you, right? And just not tell people that this is going on inside of you.
Well, so some of the things that I was made conscious of were scary. It was scary, things that I would know. And yeah, it was just too much of a burden to bear. Like I have it now, and at the insurance agency, when I went back there, I would look at somebody and go, have you had your vitamin checked? I would just know. One person, I'm like, you need to go now to the hospital. And she didn't listen, but then she had no choice that day. So sometimes I just read energy, and I could see where things don't go right. So when I was in 9th grade, I knew somebody had leukemia. Wow. And I said, oh, you probably have leukemia. You should go to the doctors. And she did.
Oh my gosh.
And she had leukemia, and she lived for about a year, and then she died. And it was just too much of a burden for me at that time, and nobody knew things that I knew, because I didn't have that family relationship where I could say, Mom, these things are happening to me. It's really scary. I don't understand it. Not that my mom didn't love me, but she had her own stuff going on. And so to not have support and have these things happening to you and you don't understand why, but that was it. That's what I slammed the door. I said, I don't want to know anymore. So
would support have made all the difference, or are there other tips that you think would be helpful for a kid who might be experiencing these things, and maybe there's a parent going, I don't know what to do with this?
Right. I think that if your child is coming to you and saying, odd or strange things, it's important to listen, because children are very open, and so when we're born, we know who we are. We are fully connected. We know that we are, of source. Nobody has to teach us how to roll over or crawl or stand up or walk, right? We do it. It's just instinctual. So children are very open to the guidance given. So listen and just ask them more questions, and then listen more, and just give them that safe space, without judgment, to talk about what's happening. Yeah.
And we have Anne who has joined us. So Anne,
Hi,
hello.
Anne. Hi,
Happy
Anne.
to have you here. Susan, I just love this. I'm just enjoying your answers and the answers that you're giving. And in some ways I'm feeling like, okay, I don't have anything else to say. It's not really good.
No, it's not good for a host. But okay, so let's just talk about Partners at Play.
Okay, go back to Partners at Play.
Okay, so Partners at Play, my purpose really is to help humanity shift into the new way of being, right? Because there's no, we've seen the breakdown happen, in the government, and a lot of things have come to awareness of fraud. Like, it's almost like the universal veil has been lifted so that we can see the truth, right? And a lot of that truth is not pretty. It's just not pretty. So now, instead of like growing up, and you probably can relate, growing up, like when we thought of the word leader, we thought of the President of the United States, we thought of, our teachers, we thought of, our clergy, we thought of, people in power as leaders, and we look to them for the answers, but now it's like, no, don't look outside of yourself. You are your own leader. You are your own captain of your own life. And so look within yourself. What do you want? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Because there's a reason no two sunsets were the same, or no two stones were the same, and no two people are the same. It's by design, baby. You're supposed to be you, completely you, authentically. And when you can do that without concern of what other people think or concern of pleasing other people, guess what? You're going to be given such a beautiful gift, because you're going to be so fully 100% accepted for who you are. It's when we're pretending to be this whatever we're trying to be, right? Trying to be, when we're doing that, we're not coming from an authentic space, and people can smell that. They can tell that.
Yeah.
And it shows up in so many ways. So be you, and don't worry about anybody else and what they think.
And Beth Myers is saying, I love that. You are the leader. I agree. And I think that's a really good point that you brought up, Susan. We are seeing leadership take a completely different form. We're each our own leader of our life, the CEO of our own life.
Yes,
right?
We are.
Yeah.
We are. It's not up to the President of the United States or Congress or the Senate or judges or anybody to make us happy. That's our responsibility. So if you're waiting for them to give it to you, you're going to be waiting a really long time. So, take charge.
Susan, I want to go back to the channeling in your guides. What got you to the space where you said, okay, I'm ready to open this back up again? I want to start to listen and hear more.
Well, I was dying.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Okay. So it's kind of like a last ditch effort. Is that it? Let's try this one more time.
Like, I was born with cerebral palsy. A lot of people don't know that, but I was born with cerebral palsy. So when I was bedridden, becoming disabled was like the worst thing that could ever happen to me, because I spent my whole life trying to prove everyone wrong. I tried to prove to everyone that I wasn't disabled. So then to be flat on my back with electrical current going through every, my hands, my feet, my everything was, the worst thing that could ever happen to me. So I had no choice. I was shopping for wheelchairs, and the next step was they wanted to insert a pain pump in my body and have me go in every month and get a fill up of morphine.
Whoa.
Right?
Oh.
So
wow.
I had no choice. But once I heard that, and once I opened up to the truth of who I was, which is love, you know, I decided right then and there that I write my story, the doctors don't, you know. Yeah. So, my body, it was like when I had that moment, it was like this moment of knowing that I could heal myself. And so, it took like 3 months or so, but I went from 22 pills and a pain patch, a fentanyl patch, to 3 pills a day.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the decision to write my own story.
And that's a really good point. The decision, that's an action to take, because we can live in the space of indecision and I'm not sure and all of that, and still have an idea that probably needs to happen. But it's not until we say, okay, yes, I'm doing this and committing to it, that then the rest can start to flow into place.
Oh my God. And it flows. It really does. It's like, wishing and hoping, and it doesn't do anything. You must make decisions. Every decision comes more consequences, right? Everything comes with consequences. So when you decide that I'm going to write my own story, my body has the ability to heal, I'm not listening to you anymore, and taking charge, being the CEO of your own life, that made all the difference. I'm not saying don't go to the doctors, because if you're not feeling well, first check in with yourself, right? Ask yourself, is this something serious? Should I go to the doctor, or should I try an alternative approach? And listen to your body. It'll tell you.
Is there ever a time when you ask a question and you now know, I didn't really get anything right away, or it wasn't too clear, or something of that sort, and which is really a message of something else? Have you ever had an experience like that?
Yes.
And I guess I wanted to ask, how do you interpret that? Because I'm thinking the times that I've had that experience, sometimes I think, okay, yes, I either haven't asked a clear enough question, or maybe now's not the right time, or maybe I'm not supposed to have that answer just yet, something of that sort. Would you agree? Or anything else?
Yes, absolutely. And that's exactly what it is. Like, I needed to write that thing. It was really important, and it was time sensitive. But when I was blocked, it was just, trusting that, there was a reason. It's just all about trust and, opening up to it, and just continue asking good questions. I never say, what's the problem?
So what would you say instead?
I would say, how can I solve this? How could I solve this? Or what can I do instead? Or what do I want instead? What do I want to feel instead? Just never ask disempowering questions, because that you will get an answer. If you ask, why am I so stupid? The universe doesn't know the difference between good questions and bad questions. They're just going to answer your questions. So if you ask a disempowering question, you're going to get disempowering answers. It's just how it works.
So, okay, we're getting towards the end of our hour. I would love to see if anybody has any questions for Susan.
Please have a question.
Somebody ask something. Okay, let's see here. Nori says, be you full out. Yes, absolutely. And you are love and you do write your own story. Yes, you decided. Amazing. You took your power back and stepped into you. You are an inspiration, Susan. I'm literally just going down all the comments that I see. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just ask Nori a question, if she doesn't mind, because Nori has really opened up to being herself full out recently. And Nori, what's the experience of that since you made that decision?
Ooh. Okay, so the question is for Nori, who is watching this right now. Nori, say it again one more time.
Okay, so Nori has, has decided to be her, be you full out. Nori is being herself full out. And I'm just asking, like, what is her experience of that now that she decided that?
Okay. So we will wait for that to flow in. Hopefully Nori is still with us. I think she probably is.
We have 6 minutes.
That is a great question.
TikTok.
Okay. So let's see here. Let me take a look at my other questions and
She answered.
She did. Let's put that one up. That was the wrong one. Hold on. It scrolled up on me. Okay, a waterfall of freedom, friends, family, and clients. So it sounds like that was the result. Susan,
Yes.
Did you want to know more about what was the process of getting to that?
No, it's just since when she decided that she wasn't going to worry about Joe Schmo or what other people thought about her, it was just this freedom, this amazing freedom that comes with that. Just,
Absolutely, yeah.
It's powerful.
Yes. Okay, Jason has a question. He said, what's your best advice for staying in alignment?
Well, when we don't feel good, right? When we don't feel good or something feels heavy, it's always be aware of how you're feeling because it's going to tell you if you're off. So this is alignment, right? This is alignment, being fully in flow. Things are going great. People are loving this interview. Yeah. And when things feel heavy or hard, that's just, the universe letting you know you're out of alignment. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or you're bad or you're not good enough. It's just you're out of alignment with who you are in truth. So just shift that to be in alignment and always do what feels good to you, what feels right to you, and you'll be in alignment.
And one of the best ways that someone can learn how to shift an energy like that is through, I'm just going to say it, working with a coach, because I know how confusing that can be at first. It's like, what does that mean to shift out of something that's hard? Because it can be so easy to just think that the way things have always been is the way they're always going to be, and not realize that we actually have the ability to shift those things. And it goes back to being aware of what are we feeling, what's going on with ourselves. And so.
And let me just ask you, Kim, not to take over your show or anything.
That's okay. What's up?
Okay. So because since we've been playing together over this, since last summer, you've really started checking in with yourself on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what shifted for you?
I think, so the example you gave of how you, things weren't feeling good in your body, and eventually you got to the point where you were basically dying. And so then that shifted for you. So I would say similar for me, continually being in say denial or resisting the direction that I wanted to go, the pole that I was that I was experiencing, but resisting that because there's that whole level of fear of what does this next thing look like? And, okay, I'll do everything under the sun except that one thing. And then realizing, oh, that one thing is the thing I have to do to actually, actually experience more joy and flow, and basically being tired of being tired, being tired of being frustrated, tired of being in the constant back and forth. And, the thing is it doesn't have to be that way. And yet that's what it's taken for so many of us to get to that, get beyond that threshold. But that's what it was for me, is saying, okay, I'm done doing this back and forth. My time is now. So I got to make a change.
Yes, absolutely. And I know our time is up, but like one thing I didn't cover was the only reason like I left my job was because my computers didn't work. Like the universe was telling me, because I was crawling in the door every single night. My boyfriend was meeting me at the car, pulling me out of the car and helping me into the house and into bed. That's how bad I was treating myself. That's really bad. And the only reason I said, okay, I'm going to take care of me now is because they gave me 5 computers and none of them would work. It was the universe is like, we have tried everything under the sun. We're just going to shut you down. And that's it. So I said, okay, well, since my computers don't work, I guess I can take some time off. Don't get to that point. Okay. Be happy. If you're not happy, it's just the universe talking to you. So just think to yourself, what's going to make me happy? And don't worry about what other people think. Just, you came here. We're all spirit. We all came here for our own purpose. So if you're not feeling happy, you're not feeling joy, you're not feeling fulfilled, ask yourself, what would that look like if I was really happy, and do that.
And I agree. Yes, that's fantastic advice. And Susan, we actually did start a few minutes behind because we weren't able to get on to be live. Nori has a question. She asks, what would you say to people who think we are trying to wish things away or wish them into being?
Okay. Wishing doesn't work. You have to make decisions. It's all about making decisions. And it's like practice. It's a muscle. So if you wake up every day and just make one declaration or one decision, then even no matter how small it is, like I'm going to listen to this class today, or whatever. It's like your decision muscle. Just make decisions every single day and then make bigger and bigger and bigger decisions. And it'll become very easy for you.
So Susan, I know we talked about Partners at Play that you have, and I know you have something else you're working on. Are you ready to share that? I actually kind of put it
yes.
Your
well,
name. Yeah.
Well, okay. So Partners at Play is expanding, and I'm now, I know I haven't been paying much attention to the Facebook page as much as I would like because I'm too busy playing behind the scenes with all my private group members and also other Partner at Play members, but more behind the scenes doing things. But we have branched out in our private group, and you heard it here first at Every Day is a New Day with Kim O'Neill. Do you want to tell them what we call ourselves, our group? Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
We are Soul Speakers Global.
Yes, we are. We are Soul Speakers Global. We have branched out. We keep expanding and growing and being, and we have this huge, amazing thing planned at the end of March, and we have a special guest. I'm not going to tell, but definitely you're going to want to keep your eyes and ears open for amazing things. Yes, Nori Love is part of our group as well. Beth Myers, Lynn Satori, Jason Richardson, Kim O'Neill, Ann McElwee, and me. We are Soul Speakers Global. So we have banded together to collaborate, co-create, and cooperate in a much bigger way. I think sometime, probably within the next year, you'll see us on stage at a place near you. We have a lot of special things, but we just keep allowing ourselves to grow and expand. And through playing and creating and cooperating, we're just having fun, right? That's the secret. Would you say that's our secret sauce?
Having fun and connection.
Connection and trust.
And trust.
Trust. Right? It was like the universe handpicked all of you to be with me and walk this part of, our journey together. And I'm just so blessed and so grateful.
And Susan, I'd love to give a little just total impromptu testimonial for your Partners at Play group. For anybody who is considering being part of Susan's Partners at Play or any of the other programs that she puts out, I'll be honest, I didn't fully know she put it out there. She told us what it was about, but it didn't fully sink in for me until after I signed up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so much more than I anticipated. And I've just really come to treasure and appreciate it. And the time that we have in our private groups has been wonderful. And anyway, I guess I just wanted to say that for anybody who's wondering.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. I just love every one of you, and you know that. And, I'm just so blessed. I'm just so blessed. It really was. And I'm just going to add, it was the universe putting us together, because Ann McElwee lives like 20 minutes from me, but we met in San Diego. We're on the East Coast. And the universe said, you two need to meet. And so we met at the QSCA event, the QSB, in San Diego 2 years ago. And so the universe handpicked. I didn't I did this whole beautiful webinar, and they didn't even see the slides. Sorry. The slides. They were beautiful, and they never saw one. I thought they were seeing them.
So basically what she's saying is, when you put something together, no matter how many glitches or hiccups there might be, if something's meant to be, it will still all come together in some form.
Right, because there wasn't even a sales page. The sales page wouldn't work.
So just do what you can, and then the universe will fill in the gaps.
The universe still brought me all of you, and I'm so blessed. And Soul Speakers Global is, coming to be, and it's just unfolding in such an amazing, beautiful way. Yes, Soli, I can't wait for you to come and play. All of you have just gone beyond all my expectations in the friendship, in the love, in your businesses, in your just your authentic nature and who you are, and allowing yourself to really be seen. And you have a book, which is I highly recommend, and it's Positive Minded People book, right? And you can get it on Amazon. How about that? And
you
just
froze a little.
Positive Minded People book.
Yes, Positive Minded People book
by Kim O'Neill. I do have a program. I do have a call that I'm doing on Thursday. It's for new coaches, and I wanted to share that. It's just to help you like if you don't know where to start in your business, if you don't know, you know, if you've tried everything and it's just not working, I'm going to be sharing my 5 secrets. I got 5 of them that really I do things in my own way. So they really are secret. 5 secrets to success, to having an amazing business. So I wanted to make that announcement. The call is going to be on Thursday, the 15th at noontime Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we can spend some time together and get your, you know, perhaps I can help you get over that fear or that hump or whatever you're doing to get you going.
So this Thursday, February 15th, 2018 at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, Susan's doing a 5 secrets to what again?
Creating your successful business.
Okay. And so, Susan, will you put the link to that in the comments later? So
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's a free call. So, you know, just to gather.
Awesome. Did you have anything else you wanted to share with people of how to get in contact with you for anything else? Or
yes, Partners at Play. If you're not a member of the Facebook page, definitely connect with Partners at Play Facebook page. Also, if you want to private message me, if you want to talk, you know, private message me. And also, if you want to email me, it's Susan B, and as in boy, Bradley-Boartfield, Susan B at partnersatplay.ventures. And I look forward to connecting to you. And I have some surprises coming up for the members of Partners at Play as well. I'm putting together a little promotion of all the members of the Facebook page. I finished putting everybody's pictures and everything. So that's coming. A lot is coming forward, but Soul Speakers Global is really going to be exploding on the scene in a big and beautiful, amazing way. And I'm really, really excited. Yay.
That is exciting, Susan. I'm glad you announced that. So we can, so people know that it's coming. It's coming at the end of March.
Ooh, we even have journals to prove it.
We do have journals to prove it. Okay, well, Susan, thank you so much for being on this show. I would like to tell our audience that if you've enjoyed hearing from Susan, which I'm sure you have, I'm going to be interviewing Susan again very soon here on March 7th of 2018 at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Wow, it is late your time, isn't it?
That's okay.
So 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on March 7th over on bbsradio.com. And so we'll probably talk a little bit more about some of these things, but we'll talk about more even beyond it. So you can catch that. And if you are enjoying the Facebook Live interviews that I'm doing with all sorts of people, the next Facebook Live is next Sunday, February 18th at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is, I always have to do it in my head, 11, 12, 1, 2, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to have author Joel Solomon on, and he just wrote a new book, and I don't want to botch the title, but it has to do with money and the universe. And so I'm excited to speak with him. So stay tuned for that, and that'll be on Facebook Live. But again, Susan will be with me again March 7th on BBS Radio. So keep your eyes out for that.
With really big announcement, with a huge, huge announcement on the 7th.
On the 7th, there we go. So that's where it is. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Exciting. Well, I guess that's it. Suli, thank you so much. Suli says, wonderful. Love you, inspiring women. Thank
love you. I love all of you. All of you. I love you. Thank you for being who you are and bringing your gifts to the world. Yeah.
I love it. That's a fantastic way to wrap up. So remember that every day is always a new day, and you have the power, especially the more that you remember who you are, which is so much more beyond anything that you've ever seen yet in this world. So With that said, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.